My name is Megan Sullivan. I'm the Low Income Taxpayer Clinic Director at the Legal Aid Society of Columbus. This video is going to explain what it means to qualify to be claimed as a dependent. The reason why this is important is because it's one of the criteria for both the 2020 economic impact payments and the 2021 economic impact payments. So if you're trying to figure out whether or not you're eligible to claim it, you've got to figure out first whether or not you qualify to be claimed as somebody else's dependent. So the first question is if you're actually eligible for the recovery rebate credit, which was formerly referred to as the economic impact payment when they were being issued in advance in 2020. So to claim this credit, the following must be true as it applies to tax year 2020. You're a U.S. citizen or resident. You have a valid Social Security number. You're not eligible to be claimed as a dependent on someone else's 2020 tax return, and your income is below the filing thresholds listed below. Eligibility to claim the recovery rebate credit changed between the 2020 credits and the 2021 credits. To claim the recovery rebate credit for 2021, the following must be true. You and your spouse, if you're filing a joint return, must be U.S. citizens or residents. You or someone on your return must have a valid Social Security number. You can't be eligible to be claimed as a dependent on someone else's 2021 tax return. We do have a video, what does it mean to qualify to be claimed as a dependent? And you can link to that from our website. And for the full credit, your income must be below $75,000 if you're single or married filing separately, $112,500 if you are filing as head of household, and $150,000 if you are married filing jointly. What does it mean to be eligible to be claimed as someone's dependent? You are eligible to be claimed as their dependent if you are their qualifying child or their qualifying relative. You're their qualifying child if you are their child, sibling, grandchild, niece, or nephew, if you're under the age of 19 at the end of 2020, or a full-time student and under the age of 24, or you can be any age and totally and permanently disabled. You also have to have lived with the taxpayer for more than half of the year, but this doesn't count temporary absences, such as if you're living in a dorm or you're incarcerated or hospitalized. Also, you don't have to live with someone to be claimed as their dependent if they are your non-residential parent and the exemption has been released to them by the parent that you actually live with. The other qualification to be somebody's qualifying child is that you don't provide more than half of your own support. You're the qualifying relative of another taxpayer if you live with the taxpayer for all 12 months of the year, or you're related to them in one of the ways described above, like you're their child, sibling, grandchild, niece, or nephew. And you receive more than 50% of your support from the person who files the tax return claiming you, and your gross income that is not exempt from tax was less than $4,300. So what that means is that your SSI income is not going to count in that calculation. One thing that's really important here to remember is that you only have to be eligible to be claimed as someone's dependent to not qualify to claim the recovery rebate credit. That means even if nobody actually filed a return claiming you as a dependent, if you qualify as their dependent, you don't qualify for the credit. Oops, oh no, because you have been claimed as someone's dependent in 2020, but you've already received the advance payment. Are you worried that you'll have to pay it back? No, you won't have to. The law provides for that. The advance payments are not subject to repayment to the IRS unless you were trying to commit fraud. This page lists all of the low-income taxpayer clinics in Ohio, as well as a link to the Taxpayer Advocate Service that shows you where you can look for an LITC outside of Ohio. Thanks for listening today.